In this video, I'm going to cover the topic of how to record on your OAHD or analog high definition DVR. Now it's exactly the same menu function for the 48 or the 16 way. We're going to shoot this video here on a 4-way. So the first thing I'm going to show is just the simplest way to access it here is simply right click and go into the record mode, and we can see we have auto here. So it's all 4 cameras by default are clicked here, and what it means is that we could set this up to record on each one of these. And it'll follow the schedule that we designed for recording, which probably will be 24 hours a day, but it might be for certain periods of the day. And I'll show how we'll set that up in a few moments' time. If I come along and I just wanted to set it up on a manual basis here, what we could do is click on manual. And if I made a decision I wanted to record on camera 1 and 4, but not 2 and 3, I could just click on 2 and 3 here and press OK, and it'll save there, and that's the way it'll be set up. But a more normal way we'll do it is simply go into the main menu and come over here, and we'll look at the record, the video mode here. And what we'll see here is the first thing is the channel. So really what we're talking about here is camera. So channel 1, 2, 3, 4, because it's a 4-way DVR in this case. What we'll do is we'll come along here and we'll see, and then we're talking about the encrypting here, and then we're asked about the resolution here, what to set it to. So it's a 720p camera we have on it, it's detecting that. So if we want to come along and want to reduce the amount of storage space we're going to be using, we can make a decision, instead of doing 25 frames per second, we could drop it down to something like 12 or that, but of course we are losing a certain resolution there, we're not getting as many frames per second. And just exit out of there, and then here we can have either in terms of the bit rate type, we can either go for CBR, which is a constant, or variable, which is a lower rate, and again it'll save on storage space. And the picture quality here, it's just set to higher. Okay, so in terms of the bit rates here, again we can come along and we can make a decision here on this. And we can drop it down, we'll say to something like 768 or 1024 or something like that if we wanted to save there. The audio is on by default, but most cameras don't have audio, so we can make a choice here that we won't be making an option on it. And there's an option here, a snapshot as well. So you may want to have actual, apart from the video footage, snapshot recording as well here. You can set that on it, and then there's the settings here. You can just go in and you can display the channel number type, all the rest of it. So it's very configurable to that extent. Just cancel out of that. In relation to what's on the right hand side of the screen, it's to do with the Substream. So that's really what you're going to see when you're viewing it remotely on your phone and things like that. So it's obviously set a lot lower in terms of bit rates and that, because you know this is impacting directly on the net connection that you need, both on the receiving end and also the Ethernet connection directly onto your phone or onto the DVR itself. So we can set that there, but we can see here instead of 720 it's set to 360p, and what we can do there is we can view it there, and if we need to go back to the DVR and get a higher resolution with more frames at a later point, we can. If we look here at the recording scheme, this is really where it gets interesting here. So what we've done here is I'm just going to hit the default button here and show you what this is like to be normally. So what it is we have a total of 4 cameras, and we have a pre-record setting there at 4 seconds. But what we have here is cameras 1 to 4. We have it set out for the 7 days of the week, and we have it in time slots here. So what we can actually do is we go into the configuration thing here, and it's set out for a 12-hour thing. So or 24 hours. So what we could do is we can actually say, well, what we'd like is we just want to record over 12 hours, and we want it to be when it detects motion, it's when it's going to do it. And I want to apply that for well, say 3 days of the week. Okay, I'm given something that's unlikely different in terms of setting. I can click OK, and we can see here that it's actually color coded for that, for those time periods, and how we can put it directly on that, both regular things like that. We go back in here to configuration. I could untick regular, OK again, and now we can see that I've done that for 1 day. So we have things like that, and what we can do is, if we like this here, we can go and we can choose the copy. We can copy it across to all 4 cameras. So if I actually come along here and go to camera number 3 now, it'll have exactly the same setup. So it's very, very flexible there, very, very easy to set up on it, okay? So, and we can just save that, or if we're unhappy with our settings, we can always just hit the default button and we're back to where we were before. So in terms of the ease of use and configuration, things like that, incredibly easy. So that's it basically. If we have everything set up there, we can just cancel out now. But what we could be doing is we could do a recording directly onto the camera and seeing all that. But what we'll see in the next video in our series is how we can use this now to look at playback, all the rest of it. But overall, I think that's very interesting in terms of how it's been set up. And you can see the easy use on this, easier than any other DVRs we've used in the past.